Hello, and welcome back to the Mondovi line. We're going to do our July 2025 update. There's just a couple of things that I've been working on. You are looking right now down the aisle with the town of Strum, Wisconsin on the left, and the town of Osseo, Wisconsin on the right. And if you follow me, we'll go over to staging, and I will start there with the updates. So last month, I sent 3 of my Proto 2000 Chicago Northwestern locomotives down to Jason at Bigfoot Trains in Georgia, and he took these old things and cleaned them up, and we put in some Lock Sound 5 decoders and sound and LED lighting. So we have a GP9, 1719, 1558, GP7, and 1518, a GP7. And they all have keep alives in them, and they run smooth. If you need any work done, you be sure you contact Jason at Georgia Bigfoot Trains. He is the guy to go to. So on my last layout update, this whole corner here was bare, and I talked about the highway overpass and making a view block with trees. And so this is a couple of these overpass kits. I believe they're Ricks. And I built those. That's kind of the layout starting and ending point. So when you come out of staging, the first thing we do is we go through a grove of aspens and other trees. And my whole point here is to be able to take photographs and not have to have this in the background. So we have some scenery and trees that I added since the last update here. And again, here's the overpass, and there's a 1958 Oldsmobile billboard. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out, because when the train comes out of staging, it comes around this curve underneath the overpass to enter the layout, and it's kind of a nice making an entrance type scene. Okay, now if you've seen my updates in the last few months, you know that I built this speed shop and detailed it. But right in front of the track here, this was pretty much plain. So I've added more trees into this area here for the same reason. When I look down the tracks, I want to be able to take pictures without having the staircase and stuff in the background. Other thing I did, let's see if you can see this. There's a ditch here, and I used the golden GAC 500 to simulate some water in the ditch and the cattails. And I used some muddy washes in there to get some greens and browns. And if you use that GAC 500, just know that when Boomer says do it in thin coats and let it dry in between, he's not kidding. If you put too much at one time, it takes weeks for it to dry clear. Just a suggestion. So here's looking back on the curve in the Osseo, and I did some ballasting around the curve. This is all wired up underneath there. Dropped my feeders and added ballast all the way up until the turnout here. When you come into Osseo, I always say, well, I don't know what's different here. And I'm not sure if I did any more scenery work in here in the last couple of months, but every time I turn around, there's a vehicle. This city services vehicle is new, came in the mail last week. But it seems like every time I go to the hobby store, I come home with another Oxford die-cast or a mini metals, which are plastic now, or some Woodland Scenics figures to build scenes, adding people to the scenes. And I did some more ballasting right up to the end of the pickle station. That inside track there along the United Milk Products still needs to be ballasted down to the road, between the road and the pickle station. Haven't got to that yet. I did some more ballasting down around the general store, and the tracks here also got some ballast this month. And then down here at the end of Osseo, I started last time with some scenery here, and I mentioned a farm scene I wanted to put in. So let's take an overview of that, and then we'll do a little detail on it. So this farmhouse, originally it's an American Model Builders AMB laser kit, but it's now being made by another company. I had to think of the other company. They're called Berkshire Valley Models now. I just picked up this little warehouse. Again, this is another American Model Builders. That's now Berkshire. This is going to be in the oil dealer area in Strum. But they are putting out some AMB kits since they went out of business. And if you look at the front here, we have a Mini Prince Dan Pugach playing his Gretsch guitar, and Johnny Cash Orange Blossom Special sitting there listening, and then just another fan sitting there listening to them. And we got some pine trees that I made. And then when you're round the bend, this barn is also from Berkshire. It's another American Model Builders kit. So I built that and built a foundation for it. And I put in a wind block, view block of pine trees. These are JTT, which are a fairly inexpensive brand of trees. It's right out of the package. They're not fantastic, but they're not bad. They're kind of, these are, the dark green ones are right out of the bag. Kind of pipe cleaner type. But if you got some cheap hairspray and some 2mm static grass, you can make these look pretty good. And that's what I did. I have a couple of, I think 3 or 4 different colors on there, and I got more coming. Now this plowed field, I think it's Noch, N-O-C-H, German brand, but it's a cardboard with this brown already on it, and they glue down, and it's actually really nice. And you can see it looks pretty much like a plowed field. And I bought 2 of the sheets and cut them up to fit this area here, the farm. And then these JTT brand corn stalks that I put in. They're I bought the 2-inch ones, which are too big, so I cut them down to about 1 inch. It comes out to a scale 6 to 8 feet tall, which is what they would be in Wisconsin. I'm also working on a fence here. So you see the bamboo skewers that I painted white and then cut them down with my chopper and put a fence line in the ground there. So I got to get myself some thin black yarn and put a couple of strands of yarn for wire, and we'll see how that turns out. And that turns out nicely. I'm gonna put another one once I scenic this little hill here with some more dirt and grass. I'll put a fence line across the back here as well. Now this corner in Strum, so we come around the bend from Osseo, and we come around the bend and come out of the tree line here. So this corner here, I just started this week thinking about it. I'm thinking of trimming that foam down into a hill, maybe add another inch or so in parts of it to make it not flat. And I have another couple of dozen pine trees on the way to me now. And I'm thinking we'll extend this tree line around the back and up over the hill. So it's not a lot of negative space, but it doesn't have to have a structure or a siding at every inch of the layout. I'm a little tight on space, so the Mondovi line ran through a wooded area along a river in between the towns, so I want a little bit of that. So that's going to be right there. And that really is all that's new this month. I bought another water tower for Strum. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go yet. Either it's going to go over here in the beginning of town, or it might go here between the pickle station and the 3 grain elevators, or it might go in front of the lumber yard, or more likely it might go all the way back here behind the lumber yard before we get to the oil and the stockyards. So that's all I have this month for any changes. Thanks for stopping by. Hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. We have a train coming underneath the underpass. Coming into Osseo.